Bonjour, hola, and hello, everybody. You are listening to Worldwide T. It is the only place to stop by for your international drag race tea, because every week we got all of it across all of the international seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race. As always, I am Evan Sadi from Pop Matters.
I'm Gregory Elwood from the playlist and sometimes the LA Times.
Yeah. And fun fact about us is that we always say we are so grateful for every single listener that swings by every single week. We appreciate every single one of you. We appreciate the reviews that you leave. Although I did recently see that on Spotify we had a couple reviews. Our average score was 4.3 out of 5. And here's the thing.
That's
That's pretty good. But you know what? The reason why it's not 5.0, here's the thing, Greg. Anytime people sling those
oh
arrows at
no.
us, we just take those arrows and we use them to build up our mansion. That's what we do. I think we should do a photo
Wait,
shoot.
does that mean people gave us 2 stars? Did they give us 3 stars? Did it
I don't think we got enough legendary legend stars in at least one of our challenges, so
wow.
we did not get a Nikki badge.
Did
Anyway,
Queen Kong go and like downvote us? Did the Queen did Spanky Jackson go and like is that what happened?
did Helenia have a moment? Who knows?
We love Nelania.
We love
Nelania should be like
Helenia.
yeah.
He's still too online. We love her. Either way, it's been another wonderful week, and y'all, we are so excited for. Obviously, please listen to our Meet the Queen's reaction for Station Royale. We will probably, as we had for a brief moment, two All Stars running concurrently because we had 1 week of All Stars 10 and All Stars France, and we're of course going to have Station Royale right around the corner. But the
Yeah.
tea is piping. It is hot. We have season 2 of Brazil, and we have All Stars France running concurrently. And before we dive into them, we just want to clarify what we always do in this House of Love. We believe that all drag is valid and no queen ever deserves online hate. And we are American entertainment journalists currently in offices all around the world. The Worldwide T LLC has a large reach.
It
But we may not
does.
get every cultural reference, but we do appreciate corrections. And there are some truly, truly great queens who aren't good at Drag Race, and we celebrate them all the same. Fun fact I learned recently House of Love Cocktails is no more. I did not realize that, but like I think it was December of last year they officially shuttered operations because their website is just no longer active and you don't see it in any of the branding. So
Well,
I
I
don't
did
know.
always think it was like one of those like short-term like alcohol things where they like make a lot of it and then they just quick sell it out. Like it wasn't meant as a long term, but damn. I mean,
Yeah, like
I
low
didn't
key because they were so much the focus as the sponsor of the Bring Back Our Girls segments from DragCon. I'm like, is that why we don't have DragCon this year? I don't know. We're speculating. Who knows?
no, I don't
But either
know.
way, you know who doesn't need extra branded sponsorship stuff like that? Our queens over in Drag Race France and Brazil. Let me tell you, Greg, we have some really great seasons going on this week. Where should we start?
Let's do France. Let's go with the gold standard. Let's go with the
Absolutely.
best one.
Well, the good news is that we are in the thick of it now. Queens have gone home at this point, or sweet dear Magnetica, who just simply is not cut out for, I think, just this competition in general, even though she's clearly a crazy talented queen. And as we find out when the girls return to the workroom in episode 3, which just aired, Cam had also picked Magnetica. So yeah,
Mm.
her fate was sealed either way. So are we surprised by this? I mean, I'm not personally. So, that was kind of written. Uh, Either way, not a lot happens in terms of overall drama. However, we are getting into the Golden Snatch Game, which is a twist on Snatch Game, much as how they do the Snatch Game of Love over in the U.S. And this time, it's more of a Family Feud style matching answer kind of riggory. How do you feel about a format like this, Greg?
Well, first of all, we've seen this before. I'm trying to remember what it was done for. It
I
was
think it
done,
was UK versus the World season 2, or I
yes.
think in Canada versus the World they had the split table entry. Yeah,
I didn't mind it. I didn't love I didn't know them, but I didn't love having like the guest judges like be part of it.
yeah,
Like I thought that was sort of strange, but I thought it was a smart way to do it. And actually I would be interested if they did it like this for the US. Like I feel like this
Mhm.
would be better than like Snatch Game of Love or it would be interesting. I'd be curious to see how it like works out. I'm also super curious how they decided which queen would be on which team because that was
Yes.
very like want to talk about production riggory like that in theory could be that. And I'm not saying it was. I don't think it affected anybody, but it could have like by having someone be overshadowed by someone on your table or your
Yeah.
team.
hmm I don't have a whole lot of notes before we get into the actual game itself, outside of the ongoing gaslighting that they did to Soa Muse to try and tell her what the 2010s and the 2000s were, which was fairly delightful. But overall, it was a remarkable stretch of guests. I got to be honest, I wasn't familiar with some of them, but it was a deeply surprising run. Do you have any notes before we get into the game itself?
No, no, I mean, I knew obviously knew Melanie Laurent, and
Melanie Laurent, played by
that
Lily. Yes.
I feel like that was the only one I really knew. Wait, did one of them play like a fictional? Oh, and of course, Louis the 14th.
Hmm.
But like overall,
I'm
I
vaguely
thought,
familiar with the Eiffel Tower. I didn't
oh,
realize it
and the
was a
Eiffel
statue. I thought
Tower,
it was
of
just a
course.
musician, but that's just
Yes.
me.
Yeah. I guess my thing was out for most of them though. I figured out who their characters were pretty quickly, and it
Yeah,
some of them was funny. Like I got why it was funny, which is always good for an international Snatch game. None of them made we've watched other international Snatch games in other languages, and they've made us genuinely laugh.
right.
I don't.
And I gotta
I
be
didn't.
honest, this wasn't bad. I
But I
didn't
didn't
think this
really
was
laugh. I don't,
fair, but like there wasn't anyone that was outright like turd
no.
city. Like it was still pretty like everyone still had these little moments that
Yeah.
I thought were pretty good. Yeah.
And we'll
Uh,
get to that, by the way, because I think someone was quite upset with how they were
I thought the
set
judging
up.
was really weird this week, if I'm gonna
I'm
be honest with you.
I'm gonna say Nikki, I need an extended edit of this because I have questions.
Yes.
But anyway,
So
let's get into the Snatch Game.
go into it. So we have Big Bertha as Mate, the chef. We have Mommy as the Eiffel Tower. We have Moon as Shirley from the duo of Shirley and Dino. We have Soa as the insular entity known as Jacques. We have Cam playing Caroline Mangione. We have Ellipse, of course, playing Melanie Laurent. We have Peach playing the Super Nanny. We have Misty playing television presenter Dorothy. And we have Punani playing Louis the 14th. It's so weird to me how like some things kind of lived and died on the Vine, because like I thought the funniest fucking line in this whole thing belonged to Peach as Super Nanny when she said a well-behaved child is a swallowed child, which was just unhinged but incredible. And I don't know what the fuck Moon was doing with her voice for Shirley, but I was laughing
Yes.
for a majority of the time. I thought it was genuinely great. Who were some of the standouts for you?
I mean, I listen, I got right away that whoever Dorothy is, she is the Jojo Siwa of like
She
France.
is. Oh my God, that's
So
so perfect. Yeah.
as when I realized that and I kept watching her, I realized why Nikki and first of all, we need to be very clear. These guest judges, you can't fake make them laugh. So
Right.
when they're there and they're breaking, like, and they're covering, trying not to laugh at someone, it's not fake. They're really like, the producers aren't saying, like, you need to like somebody. It's not like that. And they genuinely thought that Misty's, like, uh, Dorothy was hilarious. And also Nikki could not control her leg. She was also laughing so much at it. I thought that Punani's Louis the 14th was I forgot that Punani won her Snatch Game too, which I totally forgot.
Yeah.
And I forgot Punani as someone who is so demure and like sort of quiet in the workroom and isn't really like creates a lot of drama, is a great actor. Like just as
Mhm.
like what they do in drag, and they're really smart. And I thought it was pitch perfect, and I thought they were great. I thought I didn't. It's funny. I didn't even think Cam was bad. I felt like they were
Great.
finding,
Yeah.
they were having to like do whatever they could to find someone who was bad. I I
Even
thought
Mommy
that
Wata wasn't bad. Right. Yeah.
I don't know. Mommy was low to me. Like Mommy was the
I
bottom
agree
because she
about
was
that, but it
playing
wasn't like,
herself.
yeah.
She was playing herself as the Eiffel Tower, and I get it, and I like Mommy. And her first of all, her runway was fucking incredible. We'll get to that later. But I also felt like okay, and she made me laugh like once. But like her Eiffel Tower came off. Like I'm like, why are you like not in the bottom with Peach? Like I thought Soa was genuinely funny at the beginning, and they were laughing very much at the character. And then
I
all of a
fucking
sudden,
agree.
the
Yeah.
judges were like, and we'll get to anyway. But that was the weird thing. The one only thing I would say, and I would say this to Nikki, Melanie Laurent, Ellipse had two moments She spoke twice. She was funny the first time, and she wasn't funny the second time, and that was it.
That was it.
So either she didn't speak at all. To me, I mean, it was a great runway. She was low. Like, I didn't understand what happened in terms of that. Like, she would have could have been low over Soa or over Camp. And granted, we don't, as we say, we don't always get all of the cultural references. I know who Melanie Laurent is. I knew the
Right.
jokes. I know her shtick. I knew the jokes that Ellipse was trying to do, and it wasn't funny. Like it was, and no one was laughing in the room. Like Nikki was like, "Oh, okay." That was weird to me. Um,
I
but I did think that overall, I loved their creativity. I
agree.
loved that no one did a gay devil. And
Shade.
I didn't think it or a gay whatever.
Yeah.
And I didn't
The
think
gold
I thought
tooth
they
fairy.
were yeah, and I thought they were trying to do they were go I mean, Mommy did do like by doing the Eiffel Tower, she sort of like went the easy way out. She sort of did like a gay Eiffel Tower like being shade. And she thought about stuff. She had the moment about the small little Statue of Liberty, like there was like a little reference, but she couldn't land the jokes. Like it wasn't
No.
really like landing.
Right.
Um but overall, I don't know. You explain to me why was Cam in the bottom? Like, what did I miss?
Honestly, but Cam and especially Ellipse with the Melanie Laurent, everything was like good enough. Like that's just
Yeah.
kind of the sense that I got out of it, where it was like totally fine. They were falling head over heels over Big Bertha's celebrity chef Mighty, which had the
Oh,
apate moment, and that one,
that was great. Actually, I thought she was going to be. I thought she was going to win. I was surprised.
yeah,
So,
it didn't register with me as too immediately hilarious, but but the fact that they were still singing it in the workroom the next day, I'm like, okay, this clearly had impact on here. Like it
but
still worked, and I fully was in the same. I was in the same boat. I thought like, oh, this is going to be an absolute knockout top two. The fact that it wasn't is kind of wild.
yeah, it was weird. But again,
Yeah,
I feel like, and yeah, so wait. I don't want us to get too ahead of ourselves, but I did think it was a pretty good Snatch Game, and I
yeah.
enjoyed
Except
watching
for
it. And except for those strange things, and then also I will say I thought Peace started off well, but she did seem as it went on as though she was like sort of I didn't
losing
want to say
confidence in herself.
nervous. They said nervous later, but I thought she just seemed frazzled. I feel like she felt like she was overdoing it a little bit. Like that
And
was
she
my
was still
take.
funny. Yeah. It.
I would have had her low. I mean, listen, on some of the US like Snatch games we've had, she would have been safe and it would have been fine. Like
Right.
easy. They would have edited it to make her look like she was safe. She
Yeah.
would have gotten the Melanie Laurent edit. Maybe, you know what? Maybe that's what happened. You know what? Maybe Melanie came in and edited the Snatch game to make sure that she looked as good as possible. Because she
You
does
know what?
everything.
Yeah.
That was her stick. She's a producer, she's a director, she's an editor, she's everything. She's Melanie Laurent. So I'll
After
take it.
listen, after Marion Cotillard, it's just nothing but Academy Award glam walking through that back end in that edit bay. Let me tell you, the only thing
I
that really,
can't I can't wait for someone to do Leah Sado next time. Like
yeah,
I'm just gonna put in a reference that half the listeners won't know. But
yeah,
anyway.
I want it. I want it. The only
Juliette
thing I'll say,
Binoche. We need a Juliette Binoche.
so the only thing I will say is that I thought the challenge was good. I actually genuinely, outside of the judging, I thought it was a really good episode, save for the momentum-killing charity single thing that they did
Oh
at the end of the
God.
Snatch game. Like, oh, okay, I don't know how this does anything, and then it just
It,
went on and on. It was
on.
three
Like
minutes
I
of
was like
them in character doing a charity song. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? Genuinely, it
I
was.
was like, are you trying to hand over the best international crown to Spain? Like, is it like what are you doing? Like too long. I part of me thinks that like they had a long version of it. They didn't have
Mhm.
enough in the workroom, or they didn't want to, they were trying to edit something out of the show and they kept it that long. I also feel like they shot that knowing they could do a longer or shorter version based on how good the Snatch game was. It felt very like it was meant to fill space if they needed it, and they felt they needed it.
Yeah, which is interesting because when they entered the workroom, as we talked, there wasn't really a lot of discussion or drama. But in between, right
Mm-mm.
before they hit the runway, there's actually a really, really profound and beautiful moment because Moon opens up a whole lot, dominates pretty much the entire conversation, talking about her trans boyfriend and her desire to have children, and how, as a trans woman, she will never be able to do that, and kind of the difficult, like, reconciliation that she has with herself to try and
Yeah.
get there. It's a story that very much leads into the runway that immediately happens, but it's also a really beautiful thing to hear, and I'm glad they took up enough time of the edit to allow that to breathe. Like, I thought that was actually very unique and profound. And then that leads into exactly what we run into with this runway, which is all blown up. The runway this week is all inflatables. And it's one of those things where I was like, it took me a second to really catch on to what it was, but I gotta be honest, I think Drag Race France is once again hitting above its average on here. I thought overall this was a
Oh,
pretty spectacular fucking runway.
I mean, when Soa is sort of being criticized for having the least interesting blow up runway, and it's by a famous French designer who's friends with Daphne. You're like, what the hell? But anyway, we should start. So first up was Moon, I believe. I
Hmm.
think Moon was first.
Yes.
And she comes out and she's in a wedding gown and it's actually a little Dracula. It's a little gothy, hoary for
Yeah,
her.
kind of.
And then which was sort of okay. And then the whole idea is like she's pregnant, she's married and she's found the love of her life, and then she has a baby and her stomach expands as though she's pregnant. And it's, by the way, if you want to create something that will just make conservatives go wild, J.K. Rowling is probably like, dear God, show her this video. Actually, don't. I don't know if I can deal with the social media backlash. Thank God JK doesn't speak French. But it was very the people were very moved by it, and I the everyone in the room was thought it was incredible, and I thought it was very, very good. What did you think?
I just was stunned. It was the kind of thing where at this point, do I think Moon is going to win the season? No. But am I still just like, she's just approaching this whole thing with a level of confidence, both in her performances and in her runways, that we just hadn't seen. She feels so much more fully formed in terms of intention, in terms of design,
Yeah.
and it's just like, I'm just so excited to see it. So I am so happy about it, and I thought this look was maybe one of the best things she's ever worn, just flat out.
Oh, I agree on that. I thought it was really good. It for some reason I felt, I don't know. I thought it was very, very good. It didn't blow me away as much as everyone else.
Hmm.
Up next was Soa, who again comes out in this basically the back of her outfit was blown up.
Hmm.
And it was fashion. It's by a famous French designer, but it just was probably the least drag of everyone this week, which
Hmm.
probably hurt her. And I'm sure if she went back and thought about it, she probably was like, I can't believe this. I'm spending this money. I'm working with this amazing designer who's like does couture, and never in a million years thought she'd get the critique she'd get. So
Like, it was so wild because it just, like, in terms of inflatable, the whole idea is that things blow up, and in terms of scale, her tiny little almost
yeah,
like mini skirt tube top thing had the least amount of scale to it. So it hit the prompt. It had one of the nicest color pops on stage, but overall the impact was just minimal, and that was, I think, ultimately what kind of hurt her.
it would have been an easy toot from Raja and Raven, like, great, loved it, did the prompt. Like it, but here, because it's such a great runway, it was what it was. Up next was Misty Phoenix going from Dorothy to a non-gender Popeye or Popeye. I think she says Popeye's sister, maybe. And it's very Jean-Paul Gaultier inspired. The
100%.
idea is fantastic. Most of the execution is great. The outfit itself is great. The arms, the skin over the arms was a little like not tight enough, and I'm not really sure what was going on there. And you could tell the editors were trying to like be nice and not get too close. But the more you look at it, you can't turn. I couldn't stop looking at it. But I'm sure I kept thinking, oh, this will be great for a photo shoot. Like this will look stunning on a photo shoot. This particular day, there needed to be more air in the muscles to help with the fake skin over the muscles. What do you think?
I gotta be fully honest with you. I think this is the episode that, for me, changed things around. Because remember, she was top two in her first week, and I had, a little bit of a debate about that. But this week, it really feels like between Dorothy and between this runway, I think that for the longest time, she was always a dancer, but she never came across as the smartest person in the world. I would
Yeah.
say. And I think that it's so weird to say, I think she's figured out that she's dumb. And I think that she's figured out how to play into that. And like genuinely, truly, like if you think about what she did during the Snatch Game, and you think about this outfit, this is stupid. This is profoundly stupid, but in the way that makes sense for Drag Race. It's like it's a basic but beautiful idea. It's smartly executed.
Yeah.
Like she's really found out who she is as a person, and this is the most unexpected thing. This is what you want of an All Star, someone to rewrite
Yeah.
their narrative, and she's absolutely doing it. So like I think I turned a corner on Misty Phoenix after this episode. The first week when she won or was in the top two, I was like, cool, great, whatever. I still it should have been leaps. But this week it's like, okay, I think I'm on board now. She knows who she is better than she ever has, and it's showing.
I I have thoughts after the lip sync. We'll get
Okay.
there. But
Okay. Yeah.
I do think she has definitely taken an all-stars jump, and I appreciate that tremendously. She's worthy of being here. I was not thrilled when I first saw she was part of the cast.
Same.
And
Same.
I feel like she's as some of the queens who really quickly went from Drag Race España season 3 to or season 4 to Drag Race All Stars. No, 3. They went from 3. I thought they took a jump. She took a jump, and I thought that was really good. Up
Yeah.
next was probably the worst runway of the week. Our girl Bertha. I don't even know how to describe this. I don't even know. It just
I Look, Greg, before you even start, in my notes, I had written down question mark deliberately bad.
yeah,
Because
I
I
can't
didn't
I you
know.
know, I
I
love her.
didn't know.
I do like her. I don't her, maybe this is why she didn't win the week. Like maybe this is why.
Fucking fully, honestly. It was a palm leaf. It has like this
Yeah.
black leaf tearaway thing, but like the whole thing was just messy and unfocused. And already we've seen not bad runways from her prior. So whatever the fuck happened here, I do not know. But this feels like I feel like this is the one runway where it's just like, well, I have to get this one out of the way. Like it was just so confusing and not at the same level of everyone else. Just flat
And you
out.
know what it gave me Drag Race Thailand PTSD.
Oh, not that.
Yes.
Oh, Siam Prushi, save us. Uh,
Oh, she will. Oh my God. She will at least. Um, Up next was probably like one of the coolest runways I've seen in France in a long time. And that's saying something because every week it's amazing. Mami Wada in this like animated, it's so she's sort of doing it's all blown up
right.
and she's doing it's sort of a sex doll, but it's not a sex doll. It's also commenting on African American representation as colored characters in animation in like decades ago and in cartoons, and it's like you could do a thesis paper on this look. It is so effing good. I loved it. I sure like the history and the politics in it went over many viewers' heads and they just thought it was cool, but I got it, and I I think Nikki got it, and I think that I definitely got it. And I just loved it. I thought it was incredible.
She's operating at a different level all the way straight through. And I think it was fantastic. The thing I think that made it really pop was just how simple it was. It wasn't too garish. It wasn't too
Yeah.
overly. It was a very simple, like two-tone color palette thing. And then there's the lips. Like it was just well done altogether. At this point, I will be surprised if Mommy doesn't make top four, honestly. Like she's
Oh,
just
absolutely.
pushing. Yeah.
She'd have to really fall apart and falter. Up next was I just I fixed the order because I remember she was before the queen who comes after. Was Ellipse who did this beautiful blow up rainbow coral outfit, which was a beautiful effect. The more you do look at it, the more it's very simple. She is wearing a leotard with it just over, but it worked and it really moved Nikki because it made Nikki think of growing up and like I don't remember what island her family was from. Was it
Right. I
Martinique?
didn't know that about her story, how she
Yeah.
grew up on an island close to the coral reef
Yeah.
and was there for 7 years. So when she came
Yeah,
back
yeah.
and saw it was largely destroyed, was very affecting for her.
But
Overall, I thought
I
Sarah
did
Forever looked great, really, truly. I thought she
she
did.
did.
Right?
She looked like Sarah Forever. She really did. Also, the wig she was wearing was giving oh my God, why am I forgetting her name? She's a famous Karen O. Karen O. Do you know who Karen O
You
is?
know, from the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, yeah. Academy
Yeah,
Award
yeah.
nominee.
Yeah, Karen O. She had this song like 15 years ago, and the video is literally her wearing that same like bowl cut
Mhm.
like wig. She looked just like her, and Sarah did it too. Like anyway, but so the problem was for it didn't really matter, but Ellipse comes out, and then Punami comes out, and she also has sort of these blow up flowers. And it is an example of like someone overshadowing you because theirs or bigger and they're more presentational. And Punami's flowers are trying to do a sort of like subtle thing. And sometimes you need to be less subtle on the runway.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Like, it was such a well-designed
Yeah.
idea. It was really gorgeous. It just didn't have that pop that I was expecting. The judges were losing their minds over it, and I thought it was like very good.
And I know why, because if you go and you look at the photo she posted, the detail that's in her wig specifically with the flowers that are printed in the wig, which didn't really pop on television, but in a closer up photo, like as close as, if you're watching us on YouTube, which you should, as close as we are, like if I put my head up, it is beautiful. It looks like it's printed. It's like a lithograph print, but it is beautiful. And I think that's what they were reacting to. But the problem was on television, on that stage, the one thing that Ellipse did right is something that simple and colorful and well color schemed is going to pop. This
Hmm.
seemed too subtle for the room. But
I agree.
it looks great as an individual look. Like it was great. Again, we
100%.
are, by the way, being super picky. Like some of these, like
Right.
on some US like seasons and all-star seasons, these are like top toots of the week. Like we're being really like,
100%. Yeah. I think the biggest thing about Punani is that the reason why it fails is that with any of these looks, if you looked at them and you asked me by themselves without context, what is the runway category? Most of these I
mm,
could probably say inflatable. Even with moons, I might even be able to get there eventually. Like maybe not, but like I at least the belly is so protruded that it has that effect. With hers, I would not have been able to say that no matter how many times you asked me. Like it just doesn't read on that level. So I think that's the only thing that's really kind of a knock for it.
I can't remember what did Peach do on this runway? Why am I forgetting it? Why can I remember?
You don't remember Peach dressed up as the cartoon character Obélie, the classic
Oh my
French
God.
blue and
Oh
white
yes.
panted?
Yes. Yes. Which I knew the reference and I realized that none of my friends were going to know this.
Oh, it's
Yes.
I died. I was so fucking into the stupid fucking runway. It was so great. Unfortunately, the rock didn't inflate, I think, in the way that she intended to, but like
No,
it
it
was
didn't. Which
it was
also was another reason I thought she should have been in the
in the bottom.
bottom because her
Right.
runway also didn't work. So the idea that she was safe blows my mind. Whatever. But
Anti-Peach hate radiating out of this.
you know, listen, if I have a chance, it's gonna pop. It's gonna pop.
I loved it.
Maybe Peach is
Uh,
like gave us 2 stars. Maybe that's what's, who's been doing it? It's Peach, Lolita Banana. I think Lolita Banana goes in our multiple names and like gives us 1 star to bring our thing down. She knows I'm too critical because I know what you did, Lolita. I know what you did to Valentine.
Also, I
Um,
would believe that Lolita's on terminally that online that she would find our podcast. I would fully believe it.
I believe
Anyway, I liked it a
it.
lot. It
But
was stupid. It was enjoyable. It was well done.
no,
That's my
no, I loved it
yeah.
when it first came out, and then I thought that the rock on the head didn't work. But design-wise,
That's not
it
all the
was
way.
really well
Right.
done.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it something happened with that. But last but not least, a stunning talk about a queen who is killing it in terms of runways. Cam with probably the best Sailor Moon we've seen on any, and there's been a lot of them, like on Drag Race international seasons, and even I think Plastique did a version of Sailor Moon, didn't
Yeah, she
she?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is even better than that.
Even
And
better.
then and she didn't even need the moon to blow up behind her. Like it was great and it worked, But if she had just come out in that because it had inflatable stuff, shoot, like loved it. So good.
Incredible. Like just the and low key as emotionally impactful as Moons was on here. This was the best runway of the week. You can't convince me otherwise. It was so fucking good. It was just smart. It was, and again, Cam Hugh, she did fine in her first season. She is also up. Like I don't know, Greg. It's the kind of thing where like I'm just so enamored with this cast at this point. Like everyone that's not named Big Bertha is doing some really great stuff overall on the runway. Like everyone's just like escalating their game to this point where like,
Yeah.
it was incredible. So that's a good runway. Iconic. Go to our Instagram afterwards. We'll post some photos if you haven't seen it already. They're probably up right now by the time you hear this. But go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, Evan, maybe this should have been the season that was the charity season that nobody went home. And then we could have crowned Angeria as the queen of this one too. But
I mean, listen,
sorry, I'm in
somehow
a shady
the winner
mood.
still
It's
takes
late
her
here.
in. I don't know what to tell you. That's just how it works out in Drag Race France All Stars.
Listen. If anyone's deep in the weeds, knows that Angeria is upset that she wasn't mentioned on the pit stop, like because insecure about your win. Like, what is happening? Like,
Listen,
I don't know.
when Angeria came out
Sorry.
in the runway for the crowning, and I'm like, that's what you're wearing. And then I had to remember it was charity. She didn't actually win any money for herself. I'm like, okay. But
She
either
did.
way, worldwideteapodcast@gmail.com. Angeria, feel free to swing on by. We would love to have you.
Please.
Please. So our tops of the week. It's weird because it's a top three, bottom four. I don't know what led to that fucking thing. But well, number one, before they do that, they call out Moon for being awesome and telling her story and being emotional and incredible, which was a really lovely gesture. But our tops of the week are Misty, deserved, Big Bertha, and Punani. And our bottoms of the week are Cam, Soa, Mommy, and Peach, which is a lot to take in. The critiques are very interesting on here. Of the tops, Misty's undoubtedly the front runner. I think that is absolutely
Yeah.
out there. For Bertha to be on there, okay, she had a really good snatch game, really bad runway. Punani, really good snatch game, really subtle runway. Like this kind of makes sense to a degree, but then in the bottom, Cam Hugh in the bottom, especially after that runway, is so fucking wild to me.
I
Uh,
would have sent Cam safe with Moon back like to the
hundred
back. Yeah,
percent,
I
hundred
didn't really
percent.
understand that, but I did understand it because they wanted to send someone else home and they wanted to create drama. And I think they were too afraid that if they put Peach or wait, who's the other one? Oh, Ellipse.
No, it was Cam Soa,
No,
Mommy,
wasn't
and
Ellipse sent? Oh, if they put Mommy, well, Mommy would have been safe. They first of all, they were not putting Mommy versus Soa in the bottom. Like,
they
no fucking
fucking were
way.
not.
They were
Yep,
not doing that. But that's fine. But also, like, I didn't think Ellipse again, Ellipse should have been low or in the
I
bottom. Like,
agree.
I didn't think Ellipse
Fucking
being safe
agree.
was crazy. And again, Nikki, if you're listening, you need to explain. If we interview you, that's my number one question is like, so explain to me how Ellipse was safe when only two of her questions were shown or answers were shown during Snatch Game. Like, I don't get it. And anyway, so we have, but it is what it is. And you can immediately tell when the critiques start, someone knows exactly what's going on. She's
Yeah.
she's been through it. You got to remember, she's also been through the Global All Stars experience.
Yep.
She 100% understands what's going on, and she is over it immediately. Like
Immediately.
she knows, oh, they want me to go. They want me to go, and there's no bones about it. And she's sort of laughing at it. Like if you watch the episode again and how she's dealing with it, she's not laughing but she's laughing at like you can see in her eyes, she's just like, I can't believe this is happening. Like she just thinks it's ludicrous. And by the way, she stormed. I will say this. She mildly stormed off that stage to get to the back room. She wasn't
Yo.
angry when she got in the workroom, but she was like, oh, let's go. Like
Yeah.
from then on, she knew what was going on. She knew
Yeah.
like that they
And
wanted her
she
to
told the
go.
girls as much too, right? Like she
Oh,
was speaking to the camera, but she was basically like, "I'd like to stay, but I'm not going to stop you from doing what you need to do." Like that's if you're
she,
making the plea, right?
she told Misty, don't send Cam home. She basically said, send me home without
Yeah.
saying it. She's like, don't send Cam home. Don't send my friend home. And
Mm-hmm.
what else was Missy gonna do? Like, I'm sure Punami also picked Soa because whatever, but I don't understand. This is the only thing. This has been a great season so far. I
Agreed.
don't understand this. I don't get what the point was when I don't feel like she's been as bad as she's been in the season. And I don't mean this as I'm a fan of Soa's, but I'm a fan of many of these queens, and someone has to go home. I get it. But this seems weird. This seems like, what was the point? Why make her spend all this money? And you know she wanted to prove, like, after she'd been a Rue girl, like, I'm confused. I don't get the production thought of it. What do
I
you
thought
think?
she did good in Snatch Game too. Like the critiques that they had were just kind of like after you kind of established the character, then it was just kind of went and I'm like, again, it really wasn't that bad of a Snatch Game. It just felt like they needed to push something. But also, as you and I had discussed before, and I think we even mentioned it during our Meet the Queens and talking about who's going to cast on the season. Unfortunately, Soa does have a target on her back. I think that even if she didn't have any idea of Production Runway, she's already won 60,000 American dollars from Global All Stars. She's set. She's winning. She's already won more than any of these queens would ever possibly have. And because of that, and because she is a Rue girl, because she has that exposure, I think that if the opportunity came, there was a chance that queens would just eliminate her because she's already had some of these opportunities, which she also mentions. And
But
it's
they
weird
but they
because, go ahead.
they they set it up for her to go home. They didn't even put her up
Right,
against someone who like deserved to go home. And that's what
right.
I don't get. Also, like, if you're gonna play this game, which by the way, we're trying to make good TV, why she hasn't done a lip sync? She hasn't done a dance challenge? Like, what's the like that's where she's great at. You know what? If you wanted to have her be in a top two or do an elimination lip sync and give the audience that. That's what I don't understand. Like, why cast her if that's the point? Perfect example, and I don't mean for us to get ahead of ourselves, is the lip sync this week.
Hmm.
And you talked about how you thought Misty like took a jump. I literally could tell in Misty's like entire decision for this lip sync. She's like, this is a fast dance song, and I'm not gonna do a split. I'm not gonna
Hmm.
do whatever. I'm gonna show them that I can win a lip sync without doing that. Very calculated. And I actually
Yeah.
feel what I've seen with Misty is not, they're all calculated, but very calculated. And I'm sort of like, okay, girl, but like give us a show. Punani's doing like a mild Sasha Velour interpretation of this lip sync, and
Punani was mismatched for this song. I'm sorry.
yes.
Yeah.
Um, although by the way, I loved both of their lip sync outfits. First of all,
Same.
Misty's outfit was fucking awesome. So give us a split or like or a something or in that suit so that you get that vision for your own
Right.
social media. Like do something, not just a walk around like I don't know. I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
But then
It was.
the best part about go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you, but go
Oh yeah,
ahead.
yeah,
What
yeah.
did you think?
The song "Discotique" by Ascendant Virage and Nasdaq. It was all right. It was an odd fucking song, but it was still like it was good. It just the whole time Punani was just mismatched. So unsurprisingly, Misty wins, and Misty makes the decision that just is clearly written in the stars. Like she sends Soa home. Uh,
And
Go ahead.
and by the way, during the entire lip sync, Soa is lip syncing to the song behind them, having a blast. She
Yeah.
no, she's like looking at her watch, like ready to go. Like she knows what's happening. At this point, she's not even angry, which I have so much respect for her to go through this to because in many ways you could feel as though, oh, they're trying to humiliate me after I was on a roof season. Like
Hmm.
I don't think the producers think that way, but if you were in her position, you could think, oh, they're trying to knock me down. And I
Hmm.
don't think they were. I think they just decided, oh, it'd be fun to have her come back for a little bit and then no. And I unless she like blew them away. And she was just safe enough where they were like, okay, let's send her home this week. And I don't know, but I appreciated that she, out of everyone there, she was like, I'm not gonna cry about this. Like,
Right.
I'm having a blast. Like, go. I hope my friends do well.
She's done enough television at this point. She knows. She went through Global All
Yes.
Stars. She knows. Like this is none of this is too surprising. It is unfortunate, but she's accepting of it, and I think she knows that she will probably be on TV again. My only question is that when we look at All Stars historically, when you look at not with the international seasons, but when you do All Stars 2 and 3 and 4 and 6, all of them had opportunities for queens to come back. Now, when you look at our international seasons, when you look at our Canada and UK versus, when you look at Global All Stars, when you look at
Yeah.
even España, that has not happened. I do wonder if Nikki's going to pick up that phone at some point, and maybe there'll be an opportunity because they already did that in France season two. We'll see, though. Overall, I still think it's probably the end of her run, but
I,
if she had the chance, I don't know.
I don't, if you do the math, I don't know if it works. I don't know if there's a way, unless someone quits. I don't,
Mm.
I don't know if the math works. I will also say my other favorite part about it was like, so I'm getting ahead of ourselves, but if you don't mind, I'll step in. Misty reveals to no one's surprise that, and she says the nicest thing like about not wanting to eliminate her friends and like whatever, and she's very like kind about it. And by the way, Soa is beaming. She knows it's her. She doesn't care. Like she's whatever. And it's Soa, and Soa is eliminated. And then Nikki like gives her so much props, like so much love, and says she's done all this stuff. And then she says something like, "And we'll see you on tour." And I just remember Soa going, "Oh yeah, right, whatever."
Yeah,
That's not what you said. I'm paraphrasing, but it was all
right.
like, "Oh right, the tour." Like sure.
And that's the thing to remember is that no matter what happens with this game show that we are watching right now, all these queens are booked on a
Yes.
tour, and they highlight that at the top of every episode. You will see them on stage in their looks, doing their thing every single time. So, like, no, they got gigs, they're booked, they're ready to go, and that's why I think that kind of takes a little bit of the impact out of this. And maybe that's part of the reason why maybe Sarah Forever or Cookie Cunty or other people weren't able to, because if you have to sign up for a TV show and all these dates for a tour, especially if you have other stuff already booked, maybe there's only so much you can do or so much flexibility there. Who knows? But either way, sad to see Soa go. But in some ways, it is nice that all these other queens now have kind of an opportunity to kind of highlight and show off what they can do. So yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to look and see if they've announced if any of the dates have sold out yet. And they haven't, but they usually do, and they have added some dates. So it's like 15 cities. Like it's a thing. They're gonna make money. It's cool. It's all
Mhm.
good. Um, but anyway, so Misty has won. So wait, how many what's the win so far? Misty's won, Mommy Wada has won, and
Mhm.
Ellipse has won, correct?
That is correct. Yes.
So
And this is
okay, and then
Misty's
we
second time in the top two.
yes, okay. And then who else has been in the top two? Has been who else lost it?
Punani this week, and then Cam last week. That's
And
been the
then
only other ones in the top two.
okay. So if you were Peach, you're getting worried
Hmm.
because you haven't been in the top and you haven't won, but you've been better than you were maybe for your season. And I guess Moon must be sort of wondering like, what else do I have to do to win?
Yeah.
And
Peach has been
Bertha
safe,
is
high,
probably
team low. Moon has been safe, low, safe at this point. Yeah.
And Bertha probably thought, why wasn't I in the top two this week? But she also barely reacted to being low and almost eliminated. So I also feel like she's like so like whatever.
Yeah. She'll go back to a restaurant. But hey,
Yes.
you know what? As far as I know, as excited as I am this here, I still don't know who's going to win the season. And if I were to put money down, I still don't know if I have a winner, but I'll just say Misty Phoenix is kind of emerging as a force, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I didn't see that coming whatsoever. Do you have any thoughts
I
on who do you think will win at this point?
I don't
Yeah.
know who's gonna win, and by the way, none of us do because it's gonna be a live finale and they haven't shot it. Um and my only thing is I think the pass that Ellipse got on her snatch game means that she has a genuine shot to win. And I think most fans think Mommy has it in the bag, but I think we need to prepare ourselves that something else could happen. I don't know. There's no tea. They haven't shot the finale. Like Mommy could have a Kiona moment. She could have a Le Felipe moment, like and just dominate it. And she totally could. But also Ellipse could surprise. I mean, it's a live finale, and
Yeah.
they do react to it. But anyway, let's talk about Drag Race Brazil.
Let's go from
Evan.
one of the best runways we've seen to one of the worst girl group challenge performances in all of recorded Drag Race history. It's so fucking bad. It's amazing. Yes, Drag
And
Race
I
Brazil,
I
baby.
also
We're in it.
but I also thought you were going to say to one of the most interestingly strange runways, because I was going to say to you before we get to it, there is a line between recreation and dragging up something and being inspired. And I don't know what happened this week on that runway, but I'm also foretelling. But let's start with the episode. They all come back and
Yes.
surprise. Uh, Melody is delusional as ever. Like they're barely in the workroom and she's already delusional. Tell us, Evan, what happens at the beginning of this episode?
I actually don't remember exactly what happened because I was too focused on the reading challenge, of which I have a lot of thoughts to say. But remind
I
me
do
what
too.
specifically.
I have notes. By the way,
Okay.
I need to ask someone who's Brazilian, what does the term poorly built mean? Like, is it slang for something? Because Melody used it and they all laughed.
Yeah.
Like, that was her shade, like you're poorly built. So maybe that's bad translation, but I need to know what that means. Anyway, I Melody was first. And she was seemingly funny. What did you think?
I hate it because all of the because they do the reading challenge, great, cool, fun, and Melody is just there, and she basically says like, "I think you need to be offed," and it's just like, oh, like the reactions are pretty odd. In fact, of the people that are actually there, Belchi and Desiree Beck are the ones who are bringing the actual reads, and it feels like they have the
Yes.
most time. And you can always judge who's going to win the reading challenge because of how many reads they actually air. I think Belki got 3. I think Desiree got fucking 4 in. So I'm like, oh, it's in. And then very randomly at the end, and by the way, the winner of this challenge is Melody Queen. It's like, for that? But okay.
I
But Melody is happy about it. Oh yes, here I am with
I
my 2 mini challenge wins. Like, okay,
All
cool.
I know is Poseidon was so bad, she barely had one line in her read.
I
Like
know.
it barely came out and then they cut away because they
Yeah.
didn't want to make her look worse. Adore Black
Or like, yeah.
flirted with Greg, which was funny, I thought.
Uh-huh.
And then Belchi brought the receipts, but I didn't
Mhm.
get the joke. I didn't get the joke in context, but maybe I need to rewatch it. I thought Paola was fine. Was fine.
Paola.
Paola. Wait, what's her name again?
Paola.
Paloa? Paola.
Paola.
Um,
Yeah.
Paola. I thought she was okay.
Yeah.
Desiree Beck clearly was a comedian. Like she knows what she's doing. I thought she
Right.
won it. She had this great line into one of the queens about you scared the crew. Like I that made me laugh. Um, I thought Melanie Bay was bad. Melina Bay was bad.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Bleh.
We need to say it the way Greg now calls her now. Melina blah 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 blah. Or however she just decided that's going to be her
Um,
new vocal tick for Melina. It's interesting.
For Ruby Knox, I wrote Belchi got her. Oh, Ruby did a line to Belchi, and Belchi like flipped it on her and
Uh-huh.
got the bigger laugh, which made me think Belchi should win this.
Yeah.
And then Mercedes had one read she did we've literally heard 3,000 times. Like I don't know what it was, but it's the generic like you're this and you're that. Like I'm like okay. It could have been worse, but they were ones who laughed, and then Melody wins. And by the way, I really need to preface this. I don't want it to sound like I'm Melody. I think Melody is a fierce queen, but she is grating on me this season like so much already, and I hope it's part of her arc. But damn, like everything, like
It's it's like almost silky nutmeg ganache levels of just
hmm
like pure introversion, pure I'm great and y'all are trash. It's like Candy seasonal 13. It's like
yeah.
it's just this degree of pomposity that is really starting to push it. And like this would have been a great episode for a comeuppance. Doesn't happen though, because it is the girl group challenge. Melody, for some reason, gets the power to pick all the girls that she wants for her team. So of the 9 queens left, she picks a 5 pack of queens. She gets Poseidon, Mercedes, Adora, and Belchi on her side, leaving the other group to be Paola, Malina, Desiree, and Ruby. Melody's team, they call themselves the Audacious Ones, which is terrible. And the other group calls themselves the Sassy Sisters, which I accept. And they have this nice like, oh, we were the not picked ones. We get to try and do what we can. They fight
Mm.
between songs. Melody and team, the audacious ones, get the upbeat numbers shoot, or sorry, shot, and then the sassy sisters get the more mid-tempo-y bottom telling. Yeah, they fight over the song, and then they have a vocal session with Greg, which is one of Greg's favorite things to do in the world. It's go ahead.
I, by the way, was Greg actually recording? Was she pretending? And also, why did they do it in the workroom? Like, it was so, I didn't really understand. Like,
Listen, I'm glad they stopped trying to make it look like they're in a recording studio as they did like in Drag Race seasons 7 through 9, where they like built
but
up a
they,
fake. Yeah.
but they say but I just, when I've recently talked to the queens, they say that's where they do it, that's actually where it happens. They don't go into
Yeah.
another like studio room. So I'm wondering, like, why are they doing it in the workroom? Like, it was weird. I don't know. I thought it was strange. They also did they not put on headphones? Did they just do it like live? Maybe
I
they
was
wouldn't.
maybe it was an in-ear. Yeah, I didn't. It
Oh
was very
yeah.
interesting to see. But either way, they just went ahead and did it, and there's some interesting voices across the board. I will say that. They then
Mm-hmm.
obviously have to come up with choreography, and so they break up into different groups and try it out. The Sassy Sisters going on stage fully barefoot is crazy, but they are still trying to work out something that will work for all of them. Melody and the Audacious ones are going for a little bit more of a upbeat kind of number as well. I don't, there's always the cooks in the kitchen kind of thing where they're trying to figure out who's slow and who's picking it up. But that's kind of the narrative that happens with every choreography challenge. So, it is what it is. I'm not sure if you had any other additional thoughts or notes of what was aired here.
I wrote Poseidon is super confident for someone who was in the bottom the first 2 weeks in a row. Like, I was like, she's like, I'm taking this. And
Yep.
I love that. I love the delusion. It turned out not to be delusion. She clearly was ready for all this. And did someone tell Miss Van Cartier that she was going home tonight? Because that workroom moment was a lot, like out of nowhere. Did she like
Yeah.
get like a note under her hotel room door saying like you're going, like, even before she recorded the challenge? Like, it
A
felt
horse head
wild
in
to
her
me.
bed or something. Yeah, like it
Yeah.
was it was a
And
lot. Paula
also,
does. Yeah.
and then Evan, they come out onto the stage and Greg comes out in another one of these casual looks, like not a stone to be found, like anywhere. And I'm sorry, I feel like I'm Trinity the Tuck. Like, put a stone somewhere, girl. Like, I like the outfit, but I wrote this. It's like, it's nice if you're judging the voice, but you're not. This is Drag Race. You're not like, judging, America's Got Talent. Like, what is this? They're so demure in some ways and conservative. Like, I
Don't have
don't
as much
get it.
flash or sparkle as you would expect from like the host of the show. I think that's probably the big like they
Or
are elaborate. Like they have design elements in them. It is
yeah,
not
but
it's
from
not
her
Blue with
though.
Azaldi. Yeah, yeah.
But like from her, like she's been very like beautiful big drag. I don't know. I'm slightly confused. But we have had those moments. Like, Brooklyn Heights has gone through, like, every other year. She always tries something different, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Can't wait to see what happens this year. Um,
I agree. Before we
so
move on, I just want to briefly
no, please.
highlight Paula when she has her emotional moment. She's very specifically talking about how she was a sex worker and she was
Yep.
still working as a prostitute when she got the call to be on Drag Race, and how she views this as a life-changing opportunity, and so many other things there. And I think a lot of queens really related to that. So I thought it was very nice of her to be open and vulnerable there. And you get to balance out a serious moment like that with whatever the fuck Dudu Bertolini is wearing on any given episode of this goddamn show. Because when you have the giant pink hands stitched in, like, listen, at this point, it's the kind of thing where, oh man, I hate to say it, Dudu had some really great critiques this week, and also Dudu looked more ready for the runway than Greg was. I don't know what's going on. As
You
insane
know,
of a gay mystery creature as Dudu Bertolini is, they're still doing what they're doing. Yeah, go ahead.
I think I figured it out, Evan. I
Okay,
think Greg realized how crazy that Dutu is going to be every week.
every
And
week.
she has decided, no, I'm going to
I'm going to be the
let
middle
him,
ground.
yes. I'm going to take a step back so he can shine. I think that's what's going on.
Shine on, you crazy diamond. Listen, now that Oscar Madrazo is gone, we need another eccentric, wild gay person on the panel to
Mm.
make up that power. But the girls take the stage. It starts with the Sassy Sisters. And I alluded to it, but Greg, let's just be honest with ourselves here. This is the worst performance I've seen out of any onstage challenge for Drag Race since Eve 6000 during the Canada season 2 musical, where she did her big reveal number. I keep on guessing, guessing, and I keep on pressing, pressing. Like it is, it is so fucking bad. Like it is. I mean, literally, they walk out on stage and Paola starts speaking, and then there's a shot of Greg just being like, where is the fucking lip sync, girl? It's a lip sync. She's not ready for the big reveal.
But so there's the thing. I actually thought Miss Van Cartier was actually lip syncing. I was confused. But then as it went on after that moment, she seemed to forget some of the words. And I that was very confusing to me. So I felt like that was more like an editor's suggestion of I'm wondering what we missed. But did you think she didn't know the word her own words?
They cut to her saying this, and then immediately afterwards, she says the next part of her introductory line just fine. So I'm not sure if I just fully missed something
Yeah.
within that first 2 seconds that wasn't popping. But either way, clearly Greg was pressed about it. But really, does that matter when we have Melina Blay trying to do a handstand and then kicking fucking Desiree in the face? And then
But
Desiree. Yeah.
but she was in the wrong. But but Desiree failed her. Like she was all Melinda Belay was all like where they what she got in my way. Like they were supposed to help me. They were supposed to do a handstand. Like they're supposed to lift me up. Like remember she started blaming everyone else like in the confessionals, and I was like, wait, I don't understand. Like it just felt like you fucked up. Like did I miss this?
So and for what they said, and this happens in the workroom afterwards, they rehearsed it 3 times without issue, and then in the moment when Melina tries to do the handstand, she gets up, she hits Desiree in the face. Desiree pushes her back, and she falls onto stage. And then she's like, "No one's there to pick me up." She's just going right into the choreography, and it's the kind of thing where it's not like, "Oh, I missed my cue." Or anything like that. She's hit in the face with her chunky ass shoe, so she's
Yeah,
gonna have a reaction of like, "Let me look after myself first," kind of thing. Like I think it's a collective fuck up kind of moment. Like I don't think anyone specifically is to blame, which leads to the whole mess of whatever the fuck that is. But it is
yeah.
such a bad fucking thing. And then you have Ruby Knox, who still manages to come out here in her sparkle suit and still kill it, despite fucking everything. It's a disaster. The choreography is off. Everything is bad. It's genuinely hilarious how terrible this ass
Although
is. Yeah.
the song wasn't bad. Like I sort of
No, it
liked
wasn't.
the melody. The melody was
Yeah,
good. I
yeah.
didn't dislike the song.
And when the
But
other
yeah,
group came
that
out, the
was
melody was good there too.
it. And by the way, we should talk about the next group
Yeah.
because they the other girls had sort of given Melody shade for who she picked.
Hmm.
And I think Ruby thought that she was like doing something where like she was going to look the best out of the group and like the rest of them would look bad. And no, they sort of killed it. Like I thought they were great or they were at least fine.
Yeah.
Greg thought they were the best thing she'd ever seen, which I was like, okay, like settle down. But it
Yeah.
it was it was good.
They were
They were
together.
good.
They were
Yes.
sharp. It was a much more entertaining and much more professional looking overall vibe for the audacious ones for shot. And it was again, it's
Yeah.
more of an upbeat number two. They play into it. It was pretty catchy. I got to be honest. I was humming it a little bit afterwards. I was pretty impressed. Uh, but then, Greg, we have to go on to. Should I call you Greg Queen?
Oh my
Then we have
God.
to go on to our category, which is not Night of a Thousand Madonnas, not Night of a Thousand Pablo Vittars. No, it's Night of Iconic Voices, which is effectively let's do recreations of Queen's run or like idols runways from other places. Do you have the order on this one? I
And
don't have
Braz
the order. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
do. I have it all broken down. Plus, to clarify, these are all Brazilian artists. They're not doing Madonna, they're not doing
Right.
J-Lo. These are all Brazilian artists. I
Yeah.
don't actually have the rundown of who some of them are doing. I just remember the looks. but because I didn't know some of them.
Mhm.
But I'll remember as we go through. Poseidon comes out and she's recreated this shiny bodysuit star look, and she just cannot stop talking about how there are crystals everywhere. And it literally made me be like, I don't see them. And so I turned the brightness up on my laptop where I was watching it in my hotel room, and I was like, okay, yeah, I see them. They're good.
Yeah.
But I thought it was shiny and not groundbreaking. But it looked, this was, by the way, foretelling of this entire runway. When they showed the photo of what she was referencing, it looked very much like it.
Yes, almost identical to a degree, which not every one of these was, but it was really
It-
there. That visible panty, I'm just never gonna enjoy that. I'm never gonna enjoy that in any fucking look that shows up on this fucking runway. So yeah, it was pretty blah for me, but she had an overall good week, so I think she very much got a pass on there, if you ask me.
Yeah, a lot of them got passes. Up next was Mercedes, and she was in this sort of 70s-ish, like 80s sort of look. And I just wrote, I saw Raja Girl. Like it looked like Raja Gemini. I thought it was good for what it was, and also she basically recreated the same look she was referencing from this pop star. Like, so it was very like, okay, this is what the judges like, or this is the producers told them, make it as close as you can. What did you
I
think?
every time they cut to her face in this fucking pussycat wig, I just die. It's just this scared, terrified, like I want to make it a meme. It's just I can't explain what it is. I hate this fucking wig so much. And I understand it might be a more direct reference to the pop star in
It
general. I hate
was.
wig. I hate this wig on her. It looks so bad.
So
But
right, yeah.
I mean overall it was fine. I'm not gonna remember this when you ask me about it next week, I assure you.
I liked this the long strands. I thought it was nice.
Yeah.
Up next was the top two of the week. Adore Black does this. It's so fucking hot. I think it was an Anita look. I could be,
No,
or
this
no,
was a
Pablo
Pablo
Vittar.
Vittar. This was a Pablo
And
Vittar.
and I thought Adores look better. I thought
I
Adore Blacks look
it
better.
was
Like
so
it's so
when they
good.
showed the reference photo, I thought it was nice that Pablo Vittar's had a little bit more shoulder structure.
Yeah.
Dora's was a little bit more loose in the puffiness on
It
the
was
sleeve,
puffiness, yeah. It
but I don't care. It was still
was
looked
so
fucking
good.
great. I love on her legs. It wasn't fully like leggings. It was almost like kind of like a venomy kind of
Yep.
symbiote like wrap across the legs, and it just looked so fucking hot. She just looked phenomenal. She is I think she's quickly emerging as the look queen of the season, and I'm not mad
Sh-
about that.
She
Not
can
proud.
100% design her ass off. She's
Yeah,
really, really good.
yeah.
Up next was Belchi, and I wrote, I don't remember what she did. I wrote, it's a good recreation considering I just wrote, can you criticize it? Like, what did she wear? I don't even remember.
You or imagine if you will, come with me on a mental journey, listeners. A wig that is almost cylindrical with a lot of strands coming down, shoulder pads with some hair coming down the back of it, and then a front top
Oh,
and very
yeah.
low cut skirt with this bland watercolor rainbow design over it, that just kind of is there. There
It
is
was,
no focal point for this look at all. It's just things.
it is a Brazilian interpretation of Mad Max, sort of disco-y, very 80s. But this is what I wrote. Like, she recreated it. Like, you look at the
Yeah.
original thing, and it would have been nice if she fixed it, but she didn't. She just basically did the same one. So, like, okay, like, whatever. Um,
I'm looking at my notes, and the majority of my notes for this is garbage rainbow look, but close to the garbage reference. So I think that kind of summarizes how I felt about the whole thing. I hated this. It was so bad. Again, it's the kind of thing where like if you're gonna recreate the look, cool, awesome, great, but taste level. I think she could have picked a better look in general. That's just me.
up next was Melody, and she's doing this. I don't even know what sort of dress it is. It's like
Is it
tarp.
a caftan? Is it
It was a
is it a
caftan that this famous Brazilian singer had worn, and it's
Alcyon?
by the
Yeah.
way, it is another like spot on recreation, but it's not great drag, and she clearly realized that because she's the only one out of the whole group who does a reveal to a look
Mhm.
that has nothing to do with her artist.
Yep.
Because she's like, I'm not walking down this stage and not looking sexy because I'm not getting eliminated. Which props to you. Like I
Yeah,
thought that was at least smart. But you,
props
by
to
the
you,
way,
mama.
they barely showed it because they knew she had like sort of taken a detour from what she was supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah. It was that fucking clunky ass fucking just draped over her with no symmetry caftan robe thing. I was getting Diana Ross from it, but like it was just okay. The strappy thing she's wearing underneath fits her body well. I'm not sure how much it has to do with the prompt, but whatever. She gets
Whatever.
away with it again. Yeah, she's a performer more than anything else that we know now.
So next up was Desiree Beck. And what's really weird is she's doing an Anita look. And
Yes.
it's a recreation, and I actually thought it was the best she'd looked so far. It's a gown, but it's
It's a Met Gala.
simple, but she's
Yeah.
doing the same recreation. And then, spoiler alert, one of the judges gave her shit for it and said she looked dour and like not like a downer or something. And I was like, wait, what? Like she did what she was like, by the way, these girls didn't fucking pick these looks. Like, or they had limited choices. Like I'm confused. What did you think?
I mean, for me, if even if you remove the reference and you just look at it as drag on a runway, it's pretty bland. It's a very nice dress. It has a very nice cut to it there. It is like the same forest green all the way straight through, but it's all pure fabric. There's no sparkle. There's no addition to it there. Like it's mainly the necklace and the earrings that are the driving force behind it. But the color change from the reference photo is most significant because what is almost
Um,
like two completely different things. And so while the cut is very similar there, there's just like not as much grandeur or royalty to it. Like it just feels very to me, I got to be honest, I kind of agreed with the judges on this one here
mm,
where it just didn't have as much impact. And especially compared to what you're seeing with some of the other queens on here, even some of the terrible looks at least have a little bit more color or at least a little bit more imagination or a little more pop. And here this was kind of generic Grand Royale. This feels like honestly, this felt like Drag Closet a little bit to me, even though I know it's a specific recreation. It just feels like something that she may have had, in my humble opinion.
and up next was Miss Van Cartier.
Hmm.
And the hilarious thing was for if you haven't seen the episode, she goes home. This was the least recreation of anyone in the entire like cast. And I was like, okay, at least she's trying to do something different and it's
Right.
inspired and it's a
Hmm.
pretty dress and you get the connection, but I guess there's a fine line between recreation and inspired and I it's not what the judges wanted,
Yeah.
but I thought it was fine.
Yeah. This was another one where the lack of focal point was kind of rough for me because when you have this asymmetrical line going up across your chest and then you have this giant slit in there, but both of those are covered up by roses, cool, nice. It's a nice idea. Then the rest of the dress has all these different pops and bra and spindly and sparkles that are just kind of all over the place. Like she keeps to a nice color theme. She's got the rose in the hair. She's got
Mhm.
all these nice elements that come together. It's all within the same color palette. I just don't have a clear idea. Like, am I supposed to focus on the slit? Am I supposed to focus on the sparkly things on the front? Like, there's just it's a good idea, but also per Greg's point, yes, it was also the least recreated out of any of them. So, just not her best night. Just very unfortunate.
No. And then up next was Ruby Knox, and she's doing an artist or a musical artist who had done this sort of 1940s-ish sort of like sailor suit dress, and she recreated it very well. And
Carmen Miranda, baby. This is Carmen
was that
Miranda.
Carmen Miranda? I wasn't sure it
Yeah,
was. Oh, it was her. Okay. I
yeah,
thought I was gonna say, was it Carmen Miranda? And I loved that she put the lighthouse in the hair, like she recreated it in the wig. Like I thought that was great. But if you looked too close at it, it wasn't as greatly made as some of the others, but it didn't matter because it still was good enough.
right,
And it popped on the runway. And the
absolutely.
wig
And
was
actually,
great.
I know it's the kind of thing where when you use the Carmen Miranda as a reference point, everyone thinks of your very specific pineapple or fruit bowl hat
Yeah,
look. The fact that she did Carmen Miranda and didn't do that and picked a look that was still within that same stylistic wheelhouse, but it was a different color set and a different vibe altogether, I thought that was really smart of her. And I think that's part of the reason why you can forgive some of those details because she dove a little bit deeper than the surface level interpretation to get something meaningful. And I thought that was really cool of
agreed.
her.
No, it
Yeah.
was smart. She's giving shady confessional, not as shady as Melody, but she's giving shady like But she's really smart. She knows what she's doing. She and
Absolutely.
Mercedes like know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So what happens? What do the judges decide, Evan?
I think you missed one.
Who did I miss?
Melina Blay.
Oh my God, I did. I forgot Melinda Blay. And actually, it was a good part.
Melina
It
Blay
was.
comes out here in a giant star system rigmarole kind of look. It's supposed to be represent Gabby Amaratos. And it is a like it's like this golden like it's like basically a swim cut top kind of thing, but it's like embellished with gold, and she's got this giant dress with all these stars
Yep.
kind of swinging around like maces around here, all in gold, a thing around the top. It was good. Like I'm not gonna
I
say it was amazing, yeah, but like it was solid. It was good for her.
I wrote it's really well done and it's a really good recreation, but it's well made. Like you look at it and you're like, oh, this is really high quality. It looked good. I can't believe I forgot it. I think because I'm just so fixated on what she did in the lip sync. So or how she reacted after the lip sync. But Evan, tell us what happened. Who won this week and what? No, I'm just curious. Who won this week and who didn't?
Well, first off, shout out to our guest judge, Bielo Piera, who definitely is beloved by everyone. It was interesting during the critiques because Greg says Desiree very specifically needs to push her makeup. It was a very interesting call out from her directly. But since the winning team is the audacious ones, they very clearly get the pass. You've won. However, there are not one but two winners to come out of it. It is Poseidon Drag and Melody Queen. And at first, I thought it would have been way funnier if it was just Poseidon who won, because then you know how pressed Melody would be, and that would have led to some great moments. But no, they give it to both of them.
Yes.
So I mean, Poseidon did kill her challenge, even if her runway was kind of but Melody's was kind of the same. So I get it. It's well deserved. The team moves on. The leaving the Sassy Sisters to receive a majority of the critiques, where they're just trying to figure out how the hell this shit went so bad. And as they talk about it, this then leads to they don't phrase it exactly, but this leads to a who should go home tonight and why. And then that leads to basically everyone taking the blame fully off of uh, Ruby. She's not anywhere in this conversation. I think she also Melina. I mean Paula gets some critiques, and then Melina gets some critiques. Like it's just not pretty all the way straight through. And then when they get into the workroom, Desiree and Melina Blay go fucking into it. Again, as we talked about before, you should have covered for me. This is your mistake. And it's just very clear that it is Desiree and Melina who are set up to be fighters. They are the ones who are going to get into it. However, Greg, to your point, the bottom two is not what I would have expected. They instead highlight Melina being in the bottom. Desiree is safe, and it is Paula Hoffman Van Cartier who is in the bottom two. And listen, I'm doing my best I can to try and be an informed cultural critic on here. So I was very surprised to learn that they were picking a beautiful Brazilian artist named RuPaul to do the lip sync song to this week
But
with
wait, before we get to by the
the
way,
beginning.
one of the greatest songs in Global All Stars
Uh-huh.
history, lip sync history. Um, I what struck me the most was the three of them come out before Greg announces who's going to be in the bottom. Do you know who looked like there was no way she was fucking lip syncing and she was beyond safe and she wasn't worried at all? It was Desiree. She
Yeah.
didn't think for a fucking second that she was going to be in the bottom, and she was like, "Yep, okay," turned around and walked back. Like
Yeah.
no reaction. Literally, for someone who was in her confessionals and then in the workroom, been super loud and whatever, was like not pressed or nervous at all. Like was like, I'm fine. Yep, that's what I thought. Gonna turn around and go with the girls in the back.
Yeah.
Like
Meanwhile, I can correct me if I'm wrong. Melina was crying on stage.
she
Like,
was crying a lot.
yeah.
Like it was almost like she was making the Philippine girls seem demure. Like it was just this cast is a lot.
Yeah.
And we're only 3 episodes in.
3 episodes
And
in, baby.
so the lip sync happens to everyone's favorite song, as Evan just said. What's the song again? Maybe you know it. What is it, Evan?
I think it's called The Beginning. That might be the English interpretation. I don't know. I don't know fully,
Is
but
there a Brazilian name? Is there a
I
Brazilian name that we should know?
listen. Will it ever top the highlights of Beverly Kills versus Queen Kong? In my mind, no. And this lip sync very much did not do that. Speaking of not knowing your fucking words, again, Paola.
So this was my thought was like, was that moment from this point in the show, and then they wanted to make it seem like she was bad earlier, so they like,
Because she cites it in because Greg cited it during the critique. She talked about the lack of lip sync professionalism. So
but she might not have done that moment
that's yeah,
then.
exactly. She pulled
She
that
might have
from
done
here.
it because at
Yeah.
this point she might have been like, wait, I already brought this up. What is going on? But I did notice at this time that Paola did like she did not know the words. And then I started thinking, is it just how her mouth moves? Like, is it she has so much in her lips with filler that no, I'm not trying to be like
No, no,
she
no.
looks
I
great.
don't think you
But
are.
like I there are some people when they lip sync, they think they're doing the words and saying the words, but you can't it doesn't look like it. I
I
was
didn't get
confused.
I didn't get that sense from her at all. I fully got. There were a couple times where it really felt like watermelon, watermelon. Truth be told,
Uh
in
okay.
my mind, like she mostly understood the phrases, she knew the choruses on there, but when it came to certain, that was then, this is now. Like it just kind of felt very
Yeah.
overly over, and I feel like everyone could clock it. To be honest, I don't even remember what Melina was doing because I was just so shocked and focused by how bad Paula was doing.
Melina was
It,
walking up and down the run the
yeah,
long
yeah,
runway. Like
yeah,
she
yeah, yeah,
wasn't doing anything really beyond that except lip syncing the song. She knew the
yeah.
words and going up and down. Like she did not impress me as a lip syncer. But who got to stay, Evan?
Amazingly, Melina Blay gets to stay. Melina Blay. And unfortunately, Paula Hoffman Van Cartier, despite her I think even one queen at one point says, "Girl, aren't you the fucking daughter of Vanessa? Like for real." She is going home. Kind of a surprising out, but I think this fully falls under queens who aren't good at drag and just aren't ready for the drag race format.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised, but also not surprised given everything that we'd seen from her so far.
I think this was the wrong franchise for her. I
I
think that if there had been
agree.
another Holland or if she had done another, I don't know, I know she speaks multiple languages. She really wanted to do this. I think she said she applied for a bunch of them. I might be misremembering.
I feel like I
Um,
remember that too. Yeah.
but I think she was so excited and she needed this and hopefully this helps her get more gigs in Europe because I don't think she lives in Brazil. I'm pretty sure she still lives in Amsterdam or in Europe somewhere. But I
Hmm.
do think that what I was struck most was just this overreaction from Miss Blay that just was like, girl, there are children dying in Gaza like while you were like this is a lot. Like your life was going to go on if you got eliminated. I love the genuine emotion, but it just really did feel like a lot. What did you think?
I fully agree. And also just per what you had indicated, I just had to pull it up. Because also in the workroom she says, like, by the way, I'm ready for UK versus the rule or whatever. I just pulled up this fact. She has auditioned for Drag Race a total of 8 times. She auditioned for seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Italia, 2, 3, and 4 of UK, and both seasons of Brazil. And apparently got contacted for season 1 of Italia and UK season 4, but she couldn't participate in the fourth one because she no longer had residence in the UK. So she is a machine. It's which is kind of crazy to think about because like okay, so you clearly want to be here. You clearly love the franchise and want to be a participant in it. And now that you are, this the performance that you give us. It's just that kind of disconnect, here. But then again, I'm not sure if like I've been around actors for a long time. I've seen people that have those actors equity cards in New York theaters who are fucking dog shit. And so there are some people that just go ahead and they're able to do enough shows to get those equity points and they're able to snag what they snag. But like it's a different vibe for different people. So yeah, I'm a little bit shocked if I'm being honest. So but then again, if she wants to be on there and be an early out in a UK season, she is welcome to. I'm not sure if this is her format for in showing off her drag excellence.
I think the only thing I would say is that she's very lucky she wasn't on any of those Italian seasons because those queens would have just they would have ripped her to shreds. Like they would not have put up with her drag. She would have come across super weak to them and would not have lasted any longer than she did here. And I felt like this cast was sort of nice and didn't, I don't know if they
Yeah,
knew her very well. So, because remember, she doesn't really perform they all knew each other from where they perform in Brazil, so they didn't really know each other here. So, but I hope she does well. I don't think she will ever be on UK versus the world, but
as
I hope for her sake a miracle happens and she gets to. You
love the
never know.
optimism.
Love
Exactly.
the optimism.
Fully, exactly. Overall, though, I mean, two good episodes of the show this week. Some very interesting judging on them. But listen, I'm enjoying my time here in Drag Race Brazil. I think they have a great cast. I think that's really helping it. I just think All Stars France is just
Yeah.
questionable judging aside, operating on a different level. And if we cut 4 minutes of Charity Single, I think we would have had a much better episode. But that's just me, if we're asking. But overall, yeah, who do you think is going to win the Drag Race Brazil 2 crown at this point?
I think we are 2 episodes away. No tea. Just I feel like that's the theme, like where it's going, where we're going to know, oh, this is the winner. Like I feel like there's a couple of them that are performing so well that, and they're not getting shady edits. They're not like being depicted strangely in like, not strangely is the wrong word, but like over dramatically or negative. Like, listen, Melina Belay is a storyline. Like, she
Mhm.
crashed. She could, but is she gonna win? She's not giving winner edit. Like, I feel like if Melody was to win, they're giving it's too hard of an edit. Like she's saying, I'm gonna win every this, I'm gonna win this, whatever. It's too much. It's very like as you said, it's a little silky, it's a little candy.
She
But
still has
like,
main character energy though, so I'm
yes,
almost positive she's going to make the finale
oh, she'll
regardless.
make the finale. I think she'll make the finale. But like Ruby and Adora, like they're just like doing well, like popping along. Like those are the two that I'm like, okay, watch them.
Yeah,
And I'd be
Adora's
worried.
kind of my pick right now, if I'm gonna be honest. She's just like she's a good
Yeah.
performer, but her runways are just so outclassing everyone else that it's just like I think that will give her the edge that she might need.
And I do think Mercedes, I don't know who goes home next week, and I don't know if she goes home anytime soon, but she is in danger of fading into the background super badly. And if she was going back to her hotel room after shooting this episode, I hope she has a lot of fire next week when she walks into the workroom.
I absolutely agree. But overall, still a very good week. And our looks of the week, we will post immediately afterwards on our
Yep.
Instagram. So make sure you follow us there. Make sure you follow us on Bluesky as well. But before we leave, we do got to do the thing that we do at the end of every episode, which is to shout out a Queen of the Week. And I went through a very interesting dive for this one. This is one of my weirder picks I've had, and I don't think you've already picked it. I could be wrong, but we'll see. But this is a queen who very much travels across the UK, but also has been very known to perform pretty much all over the world, including in Milan and Mykonos. From the sounds of it, from the looks of it, I think she's very much your favorite drag queen's favorite drag queen. I think she's had a very specific stamped mug for some time. She is a host. She is an entertainer. She is Alyssa Vandelle. And Alyssa Van
Wait, what?
Alyssa
How do you
Vandelle.
even wait, how do you even know Alyssa Vandelle exists?
I
Like, how do you even
I was I
I
was
have
going through a deep dive fairly recently, and I just one
who
of the things where her mug just was so encapturing to me because for a while it looked like very much kind of the thing that Alexis Mateo used to do, but then I started diving it like so many queens absolutely fucking love her so much, and I was like, what is going on? She
they
really is like.
do?
Yes, if you look at almost any one of her posts, despite the fact she only has like 6,000 on Instagram, but like Blue Hydrangea and Jimbo and Vicky Vivacious and so many other people are like always on top of her stuff time and time again. And I was just so very pleasantly surprised to see that this is one of the kind of like go-to entertainers name that I like. And she also, by the way, I've been very fascinated because her mug evolution, especially over the last couple of years, she's kind of moved on from kind of this more hostess kind of club mallet to this beautiful, like much more, I would almost say, oh my God,
She's
I
doing
can't.
morphine
Morphine, yeah, Morphine Love Dion.
morphine.
Yes, that's exactly what I was
That's
thinking.
whose mug she's doing now.
Yeah, and
And it
it's the
looks
kind
good
of
on
thing where
her.
I'm kind of fucking with it, absolutely. But it's also the kind of thing where I think I feel like this is maybe one of the names that has come up of like, she should maybe do it on Drag Race. I'm not even sure if she needs it, but it seems that she is perfectly
She
fine doing
does.
enough Mykonos gigs for the while
She's
and
not
being
doing
on.
Mykonos anymore.
Oh,
No,
she's
no, no, no,
not.
no.
Okay,
She's in
got it.
Malta now.
I see.
She is no longer at Jackie O's. I have seen. I cannot believe you brought up Alyssa Vandell. This is utterly wild. Like I'm gonna tell. I'm like this is wild. Uh, Alyssa actually
The look on
followed.
your face, by the way, if anyone's
I'm
watching it
just
on
like
YouTube, you have
wild.
to know
Um,
it.
Alyssa actually follows me on Instagram. Uh,
So you've
I
seen her
have
live, is what you're
seen.
saying.
I've seen her live over many years. I've seen her live before she was at Jackie O's. I've seen her when she was the only queen having to like be there every night and do 4 night shows a night. Um, she is a I don't even know. She's a pub queen who is very good at other things. She's gotten so much better, and this is a genuine compliment. And I would say
Mhm.
this to her. She has always endeavored to make herself better. And she started working in Mykonos really young. I think she was like in her early 20s, but she was like a pub queen, like would sing
Yeah.
songs. She's a singer. But now she can do a good lip sync or a pretty good lip sync. And her crowd work is much better. But I think she's like, and by the way, Alyssa, if you're listening, I hope I'm wrong. She's probably like a third out on a UK season. Like she
Mhm.
is not, I don't know if that's her gig, but she's done it all. And by the way, you know what? When I will say this about her, and I don't want to waste more time because we need to end this, but there was like a UK queen may or may not be on the upcoming season of Drag Race UK, who's complaining about not getting gigs. And she's someone who was getting high profile gigs in the UK before she was cast. And she was sort of complaining about it, but then she mentioned to everyone else, like a couple hours later, she turns down a lot of gigs. Alyssa is a fighter. Alyssa is one of those queens who will search the world to find a gig, to pay her rent, to be a full-time queen, and that is insanely admirable. So every time I hear one of these UK queens being like, I can't find a gig or I can't find work, because they complain about it more than the US girls do. Uh, and I get it, they don't have tips, so they need a gig to pay them well. I just think to myself, Alyssa Vandelle's fucking working. Like she
Mhm.
doesn't have a full-time job, like outside of drag. Like she's making it work. So I respect for that, but I am just blown away. My pick is much less interesting because I totally forgot about it because I had an interview before this recorded this podcast. But I am picking my dark horse pick for Drag Race Philippines Salesian Royale, which, as a reminder, to go listen to our special episode. And I am picking, the Drag Race, not season 9? No, season 10. Season 10 legend, Yuha, who bootleg opinions girl, and I just think she is going to shock people. I think she's been waiting for this for a really long time, and I think you should go check her out on her Insta. You should watch her videos, and I think this could be. I don't know if it's her moment, but I think she could do really fucking well, and I'm very excited to see what
Yeah.
she does.
I'm very excited too. I think I have a feeling she will probably do pretty well on this season, but we will see how it works out. I think that's a great pick.
Because
And as
also
go ahead.
Madame Yoko's there, so we know she won't go home free.
We love you all the same.
Love you, Madame
Regardless,
Yoko.
we love
Come
you,
on the
Madam Yoga.
podcast.
Yes, worldwideteapodcast@gmail.com. Send us your thoughts. But most importantly, thank you everybody for listening. We always appreciate everything that you do. We love the support. We love everyone who reaches out to us. The random unofficial Drag Race Brazil account that decided to retweet us on Bluesky the other week to great success. Like, thank you everyone. As always, we'll be around next week. We have 2 more episodes 4s, and then Slation Royale right around the corner. As always, thank you so much for listening. Have a good one, everybody. Goodbye. Take care.